everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kelly and Andy McPhee.
And that's because we're human, and that's because we live in a sinful world. But because Jesus died, we can have a relationship with God, and we can work with him to bring about his purpose and his glory on earth.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I should mention to you that I've had a handful of experiences that have legitimately convinced me that there are supernatural things that happen even when we don't notice it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, for example, one time I got saved by an angel when I was in the wilderness, lost in Estes Park, Colorado. And I was like 5 years old at the time, and I was within distance of a bear and her cubs,
Wow.
which is a very dangerous thing. And the bear walked away without sensing me. And then then about a minute later, when I turn around to go back where I came from, I saw an angel. And it looked very different than portrayed in media. It looked like a flash of light in the shape of a human that I could actually look into, unlike the sun. And it pointed me in a specific direction. And when I went in that direction, I was back where I came from.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then I survived a car accident almost a couple years ago at this point, a year and a half ago. And I remember having like a vision of, something supernatural for like maybe a few seconds before finding out that it wasn't my time. And I woke up in the car, with the wind knocked out of me. And then earlier last year, I went to Starbucks to go get myself a coffee and found myself choosing to do a good Samaritan deed by feeding a homeless man instead, buying him food and all that. And then on the way back to my home, I was walking through a park with a very big meadow, little trees and plant life,
Mm-hmm.
And I encounter someone who he told me that someone he knew was very proud of me, and he walked off without saying a word, but introduced himself as Pete. And then when I turn around to go back home, there's people looking at me in shock, wondering who I was talking to. And when I turned around, there was no sign of Pete anywhere.
Oh,
and
wow.
I wondered if it was Peter from the Bible.
Yeah. Gosh, that sends shivers down my back. Yeah. I've had experiences with angels as well. Absolutely. Yeah. When I was younger, we used to have a projector, and Dad would put slides in there, and we'd have slideshow nights as a family. And one night it stopped working, and so I was just mucking around, and I was looking in the projector, like the projector was here, and I was looking straight into it, and all of a sudden I felt this flash, and something pushed me out the way, and the next thing I knew, the projector was down there, and the bulb had burst open. It had blown up, and shards of glass went everywhere, and my eye was right near the globe. And so it would have, like, the shards would have gone straight into my eye. But it was a flash of light, and it pushed me out the way. And I've just had a few experiences like that. That's just one of them. So yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Other reasons why I think there's supernatural stuff is I've encountered things in the past, especially now that I'm living on my own, that have been somewhat inconvenient to the point where I've almost fallen into sin. But then later in the day, some occurrences happen that are very oddly similar to what I've gone through. And a lot of it is just pure coincidental. Like I'll like go into a bus or something or a trolley and hear someone talking about something that happens to be very identical to something that had happened to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just so coincidental that it made me wonder if God was moving in areas I didn't know about.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think, I know he's with us all the time. and he protects us all the time. And
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
So you mentioned that you had a heart defect that
Mhm.
looked like Swiss cheese, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
What does it feel like exactly to have that blue blood mixed with the red blood, which you said is oxygenated and non-oxygenated?
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.